Uh, yeah, great. It's a comeback. Nobody's ever called me back for anything. So it's good. It's good. I feel good, and it's Singapore. So I'm very excited actually. I'm very excited for Singapore. Yeah, I was there for a year. And there was of course, like every year, there was a F1 race when I was there, but I was a different person back there, and I was like, boys in fast cars, why? I mean, we have Fast and Furious for that. Do we really have to pay that much money? But I know, and yeah, a lot of the tickets were really expensive. I remember, and I could not believe that we're going to, like, people are going to go watch this, and then yeah, and Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing, and a lot of my classmates went and saw that. A lot of them could not afford the race day tickets, which is fine. Some people could. Yeah, and if I did go, I would have witnessed, I think, Sebastian Vettel's last win. That's crazy. I mean, it's sad, but that's insane. Yeah, but yeah, I was in Singapore next to Kanpur. But no, yeah, Singapore was great. Yeah, I was there. It was great. My lowlights were, firstly, my lowlight was that I completely missed most of the race, and I was fighting it out with a friend. Literally, this is what happened. I missed most of the race. I did not know what time it was. I don't know why. And I was texting, and this guy, and my friend was like, well, at least Science is going to get his podium and Williams for the first time. And I was like, that will. I thought he's talking about the qualifying. And I'm like, the McLarens will not let him do that. And he's like, what McLarens? And I'm like, what? And he's like, Piastri is out. And Lando's far behind. And I'm like, I need to watch this race then. And it was pretty. I think that was the low point where I was like, I don't think Piastri's had that ever. I mean, I'm sure he's had it, but I don't remember. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, I know. I know. Sorry, my highlight is that. Sorry, my highlight is that you were there. Like, you could confirm that they weren't lying to us. It's true. They show what's there. Yeah. 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 Just borrowed someone's phone um, to watch the whole thing, see all these people who actually, yeah, I felt so sad looking at. You know what? I feel sad for him, but he doesn't make you feel sad for him. Yeah, with Charles it's yeah, Charles is like a million memes, and with Oscar it's like, I my back is towards the camera. I don't give a whatever. And yeah, it's so I don't feel he doesn't make you feel sorry for him, but yeah, I feel bad. I did feel bad for him. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just that. Yeah, if Max doesn't win Singapore again, then it's like it's confirmed. Singapore is not for Max. That's not a thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go. Singapore is more than a race, it's an event. The big headline is that it was the first ever night race back in 2008. They lit up the whole Marina Bay area with over 1,500 floodlights. That's insane. Wow. And to this day, it feels magical watching the cars cream past with the skyline glowing in the background. To add to that, there are always big name concerts, massive food stalls, and basically the whole city turns into a party, which Singapore knows how to do very well. They 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 know how to, I don't know, they know how to make an impression. Like even the smaller music festivals, they do such a good job. Like I don't know, it's I'm so sad I missed out when I was still there. I'm sure it was fantastic. They do it so well. I'm sure they do it so well. Yeah, yeah, someday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We should. Yeah. One of the best episodes of Drive to Survive this year, which literally, which is, I mean, I watched the entire thing this year, was the Singapore one. They gave those phones to 4 or 5 drivers, which were the rookies, and basically asked them to film the episode. George spoke about how brutal this race was, and we saw him in the end having a panic attack and hyperventilating because of the heat in the car. Um, that was truly terrifying, but also not a surprise. Singapore can get really hot, and I mean it's kind of like Bombay. Um, it rains whenever it feels like, so I can understand Singapore, and for them especially, they're not used to these Asian climates. So I'm sure, yeah. So yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, they were no. That wasn't 2019. Oh yes, Drive to Survive does it every year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah. Do you want me to say it again? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, fine. No. That's true. Also, now that you mentioned Carlos also has an interesting history in Singapore. Because remember in 2023 when we all memorized the Dutch national anthem thanks to Max? Well, Singapore was the only race where he did not win, thanks to some amazing defensive driving from El Matador, and of course that beautiful DRS strategy that he pulled off with Norris. By the way, another fun fact: Max has won in every single track except Singapore, which is what we spoke about in the beginning. Yeah, and yeah. Hmm. No, I'm saying, yeah, I guess podium is not the same thing because he was winning all of them. So yeah, yeah, it's that is true. I know. Let's see. I'm excited about that if we can break that Singapore course. Let's see. And because of Singapore, how can you forget the most important mascot? Uh, Godzilla. Every year we see these giant monitor lizards on track, and Max and GP had some fun radios about having Godzillas on track. Fun fact, uh, not about Max and GP, but me. So my college had a shortcut, and we had to go through the botanical gardens. Um, yeah, if you missed the bus, you had to take that route. There was no other way. I mean, there was no better or more efficient way. So we had to go through the botan, and those lizards were I mean, after a point, you just become so used to them. They are giant. They are giant. Yeah, giant. They move slowly. At least I saw them move slowly. And yeah, I mean, Singapore, yeah, they're not scared of lizards. So yeah, in your homes also, lizards are a very common thing. In India also, it's kind of like India, but yeah, yeah. That's I had to, like, I don't like lizards, so I had to like completely seal all the spaces below my room door and stuff. But yeah, I've seen those monitor lizards for every day of the year that I was in Singapore. So yeah, they're giant. I know. Yeah. Oh, I have been staring at this track for 2 days now. If we use a little imagination, I think we could picture this as a hairdryer on a flattened cape. So, so the cars rush in on the top of the hairdryer towards where the air would whoosh out at turn one. Turn five is where the hairdryer meets the handle. The handle itself runs until turn 7. Turn 8 is actually on top of the cape. Turns 10 to 13 are the flowy cape bit. rising back up to 14 where we meet the hairdryer again. It goes on the other side of the handle where turn 18 is the motor of the hairdryer. Then we come to sector 2. Now the hairdryer ends and we go onto the cape. Turn 7, Memorial, named for the Civilian War Memorial, is a tight left that brings you from 320 km per hour down to 120 kilometers per hour. Miss it and kiss the wall. Next we have turn 8, Stamford, a sharp right-hander that threads us along Stamford Road. Then turn 9, Padang, another very sharp left-hander that winds around the historic Padang fields. You're almost threading the needle here, walls right on either side. Now comes turn 10, the old infamous Singapore sling. It's gone post 2012, replaced with a smooth flowing left-hander that still demands respect. From there, it's turn 11, a right, then turn 12, a left that takes us across Anderson Bridge. This part is gorgeous at night. You've got the skyline sparkling. Finally, turn 13, Fullerton. A tight left in front of the Fullerton Hotel, which by the way is beautiful. It's one of the few real overtaking spots in Singapore. Heavy braking, precise line, and if you nail it, you're ready to fire down the next DRS straight. I feel Brad Pitt is gonna do great. No. Predictions. I don't know. Baku's really messed up with my, things were going so boring, and it'll either be the McLarens or yeah, Max will do, he'll be like, yeah, let's just race today for a change. Why not? And then George will be like, can I be sneaky? It was very like it was, I knew how this worked, and then suddenly Baku happened, and I don't even know what's happening. So my prediction would be, my prediction would be, I think Oscar will come back. Um, he usually really, I think Oscar Norris will also come back. They've had a fair bit of a break, and to feel bad about it. And yeah, so podium prediction would be, um, Oscar wins. You know what, at this point it's not even a prediction. I think I'm praying for it, but sure. I think Oscar wins. Max. God, they're so sorry. They're just, Max comes, I don't know, second, and uh, Charles comes third. Norris comes fourth. Norris just, his like the magic you worked last time. Maybe his car just stops. Maybe his car just stops. Maybe the car is like, brother, not today. Let's take a break. Let's go get a Singapore sling. Why not? Uh, yeah, and you didn't mention Norris, and I was like, so like Norris, like fourth. Yeah, you were like, no, Norris just goes, just is, yeah, and he did. He left. Yeah, I mean, not just this, I mean, it's, yeah, for a while. I think the fans live in trauma. That's how they usually live now. Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's like same like Manu fans. It's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. After 1973, the race went quiet. There were safety concerns and a series of tragic accidents, so the Singapore GP disappeared from the map for over 3 decades. But the city never forgot about it. Fast forward to 2008, and Singapore made a massive comeback. Enter the Marina Bay Street Circuit. That's a mouthful, Marina Bay Street Circuit. And the world's first night race in F1 history. Imagine the skyline lit up, the reflection on the water, and the cars screaming past the iconic landmarks. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Singapore wanted to show the world that it wasn't just a finance hub. It was flashy, modern, and capable of hosting a truly world class sporting event. Since 2008, the Marina Bay circuit has seen plenty of tweaks and updates. Remember the infamous Singapore sling chicane at turn 10? That got removed in 2013 for safety reasons. Turns 11 to 13 were widened in 2015 to encourage overtaking, and in 2023, turns 16 to 19 were replaced with a long flat out section on Raffles Avenue. Also, the 4 DRS zone added between turns 14 and 16, making overtaking even more strategic. Yeah, yeah, we should sing because you know what? You can trust Singapore to give you the best. Like they just want to be the best at everything, and they do it. They really do it. They bring it, and so we should totally do a Singapore race at some point. It'll be fantastic. Yeah. 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 Wow. That's a lot of tea. Anyway, fast forward to 2010, and we had one of the most dramatic safety moments when a Lotus car caught fire mid race. Calm as ever. How do you pronounce? Heike? Okay. Calm as ever, Heike stopped the car, jumped out, and even grabbed a fire extinguisher to put out the flames himself. He even made a joke about needing additional payment for being the fireman. Let me do it. Let me do it. I'll do it. Like your dads do it. I'll do it. If you can't do it, let me do it. Yeah. Yeah. 2012 was a tale of two stories. Happy for Vettel, but Lewis Hamilton faced heartbreak when a gearbox failure on his McLaren forced him out of the race. Oh, see, it can happen, Nisha. Fingers crossed. Some even say this played a role in his decision to move to Mercedes, looking for reliability and a fresh start. 'Yeah, भैया सिर्फ उस कॉर्नर तक just five more minutes. Also, every time I see Mark Webber, I cannot I just have to say it how Norris said it. Mark Webber. Yeah, yeah, every time, every time. 2015 was a mix of chaos and brilliance. Vettel scored yet another win, but the race was temporarily interrupted when a spectator managed to enter the track mid race. The guy was arrested, jailed for 6 weeks, and the incident led to tighter security. Forget that. Singapore takes its laws very seriously. Like I man, these people are, I don't know. You really have to be crazy to do that. Yeah, yeah. Love the authenticity. Um, in 2022, Sergio Perez finally clinched a victory in Singapore, overcoming engine issues and fierce competition. But there was a twist. He got a 5-second penalty for not maintaining the required distance behind the safety car. Despite this, he held on to cross the line first by 2.5 seconds. Damn. Damn, that is sorry. That is such a movie. That's such a movie moment. Like it's Lando 0.8 seconds behind, and he just goes like, "Yeah, it's on purpose. Like, get with the program. You think only you know strategy?" Yeah. Yeah. Starting at the top, Lando Norris turned his pole into a masterclass of control for once. From turn one, he held off Max Verstappen and spent most of the night in a league of his own. A couple of brushes with the wall reminded everyone that this track is unforgiving. But Norris stayed calm, drove perfectly, and finished over 20 seconds ahead, cutting Max's championship lead. Absolutely textbook performance. Oscar Piastri had a quieter start in P5 on the grid, but he worked his strategy beautifully. He stayed out longer on his first stint, charged past both Mercedes drivers with fresher tires, and climbed onto the podium in third place. The one the 1-2 for McLaren really shook up the constructors championship. Sneaky George had a solid evening, finishing fourth. He managed to stay consistent, capitalize on opportunities, and pick up valuable points. Lewis Hamilton had a less dramatic but still important race, finishing sixth after a decent climb through the field. Fernando Alonso added more points for Aston Martin, finishing eighth. He kept a steady pace and made the most of opportunities. Lance Stroll had a rough night with early vibrations and car issues, ultimately finishing outside the points. And now, with a heavy heart, Daniel Ricciardo, or as Charles says, Daniel Ricciardo. Um, yeah, that one. The weekend started rough with Ricardo qualifying only 16th and having to start deep in the field. In the race, he fought hard but finished 18th. Oh my god, it got worse. A lap down. But here's the twist: the team switched to soft tires late, and he set the fastest lap on his penultimate lap, taking away precious points from Lando Norris. A reminder of Ricardo's raw talent even in a tough season. The thing is, we didn't know it for sure, but then this was the last race for the Honey Badger. Oh my god, just saying it. I wasn't even there for it. I didn't even watch that season, and I'm like, no, just don't go. Yeah, it makes me feel bad. Oh god, that would have been sad. Oh, that's sad. It's like your favorite co-worker leaves, and you don't have the cake cutting ceremony. Yeah. Then there's suspension. The track isn't smooth, bumps, manholes, curbs. So teams will soften the suspension. Let me take that one again. Then there is suspension. The track isn't smooth, bumps, manholes, curbs. So teams will soften the suspension a little to absorb all that, keeping the tires glued to the asphalt. Huh? Really? As in the road? Oh yeah. Okay, keeping the tires glued to the asphalt. Oh, the road. Just some really wonderful expressions, Nishal. Just written so well. Too stiff and you'll be bouncing around like crazy. Too soft and you'll risk upsetting the balance mid corner. It's a delicate compromise. It's such a cool expression. Like it's so well written. Keep it in. I don't give a shit. It's a compliment. She works hard at it, Kevin. Keep it. Keep some of it. And don't forget about the weather. It's hot and humid, often in the high 20s at night, which is brutal for the drivers. Cockpit temps can soar, and cars' cooling systems are working overtime. It also affects tire performance, so teams are constantly monitoring track temperatures and adjusting pressures and setups even during the race week. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, this was Red Bull's biggest shame. The person who put their team and the sport on the map through Drive to Survive. The last interview that he did, you can see him hold back tears, and no one felt good listening to him not being able to confirm that he has been asked to leave the sport. Yeah, yeah, no, go ahead. I would say Hamilton and Nicole Schrodinger's cat. Both of them. Both of them, I mean, I did not watch F1, and you are right. The only other person who I knew of outside of Schumacher, and Schumacher also, I knew he's not there anymore because we were kids when we knew about Schumacher. It was Lewis Hamilton, and the fact that he dated, dated the yeah, yeah, Nicole, yeah. So I'll give them points for that. But yeah, you're right. It's just those two. And then enters Drive to Survive with their hope of making viewers start to care for the people behind those helmets. They knew that the sport is so out of most people's reach. Like, you can still play cricket on your street. How many kids do you know are going karting? They had this incredible task of making us relate to these rich athletes and root for them. And there he was, heart full of love, racing passion, pure competitive energy, good looking with a great smile. I think the best smile. Like, Julia Roberts can, like, who is she? Why is she? Yes. It was love at first sight for Netflix and for the audience. Yeah, and we all watched his slow downfall. Actually, I'm glad I was not there to watch the slow downfall in real time. Honestly, I would have gone into depression. So I watched his slow downfall on Drive to Survive. So for me, it was quick downfall actually, because I binged it. It was a quick downfall. Great story, great storyline. He saw that Red Bull was more interested in the shiny new talent Max, and he refused to be a number two driver. Moved to Renault just as Red Bull got its fastest engine with Honda. Then moved to McLaren with their car was an absolute dog. Sorry, let me say that again. Moved to Renault just as Red Bull got its fastest engine with Honda. Then moved to McLaren with their car when their car was an absolute dog. The unceremonious firing from McLaren and the hero's welcome at Red Bull, but to do PR. And we see this happen a lot when drivers start to lose their motivation or their wins. It goes downhill from there. His last interviews were a hard watch. After the race in Singapore, he sat in that chair much longer after everything was done, just soaking it in. Sorry, sorry. Oh, what am I reading? Let's round two. His last interviews were a hard watch. After the race in Singapore, he sat in that car much longer after everything was done, just soaking it in. Feeling around the car. Oh, we have to pause. There is a giant car. I don't know. Are tractors coming to Cooktown today? I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me just look outside. Why do people have such big cars? Anyway. Okay. His last interviews were a hard watch. After the race in Singapore, he sat in that car much longer after everything was done, just soaking it in, feeling around the car. Then he starts to get up and pauses, finally realizing that this is it. And with that, he gets up to do the rest. Apparently, his team was outside clapping and cheering, and he stayed in the paddock for the longest time. But then he finally left, and sadly, we won't see him in DTS ever again. Oh my god. It's, you know, it is sad, but if anyone who's been in a shitty place in a job, well, and we're not talking about if you like your job or not, but if you're in a if you're in a bad situation at the job that you've been doing for a long time, there are only two things you can do. You either stay there and ride it out, and you stay and you're like, I don't care, I might be seeing 3 therapists and be on all medication, but I will see it through till I get the next high and I'm back. Or you just have to be like, I don't think I can go lower than this, I can't take it, and you leave. And he chose number 2, and that's what he did. he he made some, like, he made some mistakes. I felt, yeah, I think once he left Red Bull, where he had been for so long, I don't know whether it was a commitment issue or not. Every time Renault started doing okay at Renault, and he's like, yeah, I'm a skip, I'm a. True, true. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Do you, do you think he now looks, and I mean, he had enough time to realize it. He had been there for 3 of Max's championships, or all of Max's championships. No, no, no. While in Red Bull, how many championships? Yeah. 20. Okay, right. Right. McLaren? No, I feel like now, because he's not in the sport, he's not in it. I don't know. Do you think maybe he just sits and wonders, you know what? It it's not just me, but nobody could be Max. Because I was watching something. It's not really F1 at all, but someone. So there was this. There's an actor who was talking about Daniel Day Lewis, and when they were very young, they acted with them, and they basically said that, I think it was Cameron Diaz, because she is roasted for her acting in that movie with Leo DiCaprio, I forgot it. So anyway, so she basically said that if you just know that there is only one Daniel Day Lewis and nobody can ever be Daniel Day Lewis, you don't have to be so hard on yourself and be like, why can't I, why shouldn't I? And I feel like, if that I'm guessing, because he was the older driver and he had been there for longer, it was an ego thing. But I feel like now he probably thinks like, yeah, I don't think I could have been Max anyway. But yeah, yeah, anyway, yeah, 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 yeah. I guess Kim Illman stirs up more shit than Gossip Magazine sometimes with his context to photographs. Yeah, and then yeah, but this that almost sounds like Daniel left the world or something. He left us. It does sound like it's so precise. Not even. Yeah, it's like at 1:46. It's so precise. Like Kim Illman. I would say Kim Illman get a job, but he has a job, and that's fine. That's fine. He's there to document. Yeah, he gets to document all of this. But I guess Daniel is happy now working with Ford Racing in the US, having those tailgate parties and stuff. Still playing paddle with Max Verstappen. Also, he's still a millionaire, so how bad can you feel for him? Uh, I don't feel, I feel a little bad for him. We feel bad for rich people too. Money cannot buy you a championship. At least not right now. Yeah. Yeah, money cannot buy. So I do feel, also, I feel like if you have all the money in the world, uh, your threshold for what's thrilling is very high. So it has to be a win, or it has to be like fast cars, boys in fast cars, or it can't be gardening. You know, it it has to be something like that, or like jumping from the tallest building. I don't know. I don't know what rich people do. I'm very poor, so yeah, yeah. The last time I was on the podcast, I made a prediction about Williams and it came true. Although I was hoping it would be Albon, but I'm fine with it. I feel so amazing that that happened. Yeah, and it happened before the end. It happened like before the end of the season, so I'm very happy. So my next bold prediction would be, God, I don't know. That was my boldest prediction, but I feel like, okay, let's go crazy. You know what? I don't care. Let's go nuts. I feel so my next prediction would be that, damn, Max somehow wins everything and gives Oscar a hard time for the championship. Uh, you know what? I feel like I make this joke all the time. Since he's become a dad, he's become a little soft, guys. But yeah, but I feel like with Max, what I'm seeing this season, this is literally my first season. I'm saying I was like with Max in this season because I've watched the 5 months before this. But I feel like in some races he's like, we're gonna take it easy, guys. This race, we're gonna take it easy. Let Lando do his thing. I'm anyway so far. And then in some races, you're like, what happened? What happened? Did you talk to your dad instead of Kelly? What? Did your dad call you up? Did your dad wake you up in the morning today and not your girlfriend? Because I can understand. Yeah, or you know what? But I feel like stuff like that. I think his dad is. I can imagine him saying stuff like, "So what if you're a father? You don't have to go soft like that, Max." And then he's like, "Papa, please don't say that." Oh, if I don't say, then what? You'll become a loser like your friend Norris. It's crazy. It's your your friend Norris always crying, "I don't win. I don't win." Be friends with Piastri. He's so much better. Why you are being friends with the rookies? They are kids. They don't know what it's like. I don't know. I don't know. Suddenly he's become this guy. But I feel like, yeah, that's true. But like so much worse. Where he's like, I don't know why you choose to be friends with like losers. Be friends with Piastri. I told you. And then he's like, but I became friends with Hamilton also. No, but now he's a loser. Cut him off. It's I don't know. That's how I feel his dad would be. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Yeah, Kevin, you have the liberties to do whatever. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Correct. True. Yeah. 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 Ding 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 ding.